let's just start with what is the official team sort of statement position?
Week to week. Lower body, yeah. Yeah.
Then, I mean, you've been asked about Casey and his role in here.
Yeah.
I mean, confidence level that he's going to be able to carry the load here.
Well, I think you look at his past, and I think what he's done for us and with Pittsburgh, he's ran with the ball, and he's done it very well at times. So it's hard for him because he hasn't played a lot of games, consecutive games. It's one game, next week he plays, whatever. So this practice this week for him, getting some games in is great. We have a lot of confidence in him. Like the way we're playing without the puck, which helps, but I also think that he's getting that, I know, unfortunate, obviously Denver getting hurt, but him getting in there in that circumstance, I think that's going to help him for tomorrow. I really do.
You've got two guys down in Abbotsford that have played reasonably well. You have, was there a decision to make, or was it always Silovs that was going to get the call?
I think it was always Silovs. I honestly kind of defer to Clarkey or to the guys down there. It's not set in stone, but he's. I remember when we called him up last year. He actually had the second, third game. You can see the improvement in Silovs. So I think it's good that he gets a taste up here.
Rick, what were you looking to get out of 2 days off here for the guys?
Well, some guys came in optional, so there's about 11 guys that did show up to get some touches. But I just think it's important to use this time to get some guys fresh mentally. I think last week we had a couple of days off. I think we played better since. I can see guys like Hughes and Petey and those guys, they look a lot fresher. And I thought this is a good time. I don't know if we can do it again before April to get days off. So I just thought it was a good time.
Carson Soucy spoke a little bit about having a hand injury, how he was able to continue skating throughout the time in his recovery. What have you thought about what he brings to this team, and specifically with his skating ability? Yeah,
just the calmness, his position. When there's heat, he's got that good stick. When things get a little bit hectic out there, he'll make that one play. So, you're right. If you're going to get injured, hopefully it's upper body because he can skate, because hasn't really missed too much of a beat. Same thing with Dakota, too. He's skating hard, so hopefully he doesn't miss a beat when he comes back with his legs. It's a lot harder to come back with, knee injuries and stuff like that.
Rick, your team's been really good defensively. Where specifically do you think they've made the biggest improvements or adjustments?
Well, I think I've talked to you guys about this. If we make a mistake, we're not duplicating the second, third ones. There was a stretch there this month, in February, we were giving up tap-ins, we just were making too many mistakes and the same play. So you're going to make a mistake, but it seems like we're covering up for each other a lot better. I think that's because your mind's fresher. We just seem a little bit more focused, and these, guy makes a mistake, I better take back ice, let Demmer or Casey have that side of the net. Before we were just all in. You guys heard me say many times we're pushing our chips in all the time. All of a sudden it's a backdoor play. I don't care if you have two goalies in that, it's tough to stop those goals, right? So I think it's important that we're not duplicating mistakes.
Against Winnipeg, it felt like there was an emphasis on defending through the neutral zone and pressure in the neutral zone. Has that been a focus of your club lately?
Yeah, we did a presentation 4 games ago of taking speed away. I don't think we were taking speed away there for a bunch of games, being above guys. I mean, there's some talented players, teams we've been playing. You go through the list, McKinnon going through, you got McDavid, all those guys coming through the zone with speed. We got to be above them. It takes a lot of hard work and it takes discipline, but you can't dive in. I think since we've kind of committed to that, even against Vegas, I think we're starting to sort out our rush coverages a lot better for a defenseman.
With Tyler Myers back on the ice, when is he expected to return, and does your team's defensive performance make it easier to perhaps ease him back into the lineup?
Well, I like to get certain guys practice time, and actually Mizey had a good practice day. So, whether he plays tomorrow or the next game, he's getting close. But I thought he had a really good practice day. So it gives coaches it's their hard decisions. But it's always nice to get a couple of guys, or a guy that hasn't practiced much, to get him with practice. Just because we're playing well, I still think you want to put your best players out there.
And with Ilya Mikheyev going through such a
Yeah.
long drought, what is the message to him to keep him positive, to keep him focused, and to get him back scoring goals?
Yeah. Well, I think for him, the coaching staff has to give him confidence. Like, we can't be hanging our head, you're not scoring, and preaching the negative. Okay, the negative's not scoring, but I think the last 2-3 games, I think his game's come. He's playing more inside. He's getting more shots. It's hard to play inside all the time. You're gonna, you got to keep doing it. I think that's for him is, can he stay consistently, like tomorrow against Colorado, play with Millsy's line? Can he still go through the middle, take a beating in front to get those goals? That's the key, right? He's not getting rewarded in the sense of stats, but I think he's getting rewarded with his team play. Where before, I don't think he was playing his inside, and he wasn't really playing well without the puck. But now he's playing well without the puck, and he's getting chances. So you got to stick with it. That's we've all gone through slumps in our career. It's the war of attrition. Like, you got to keep doing it, and that's my message to him. And don't feel sorry for yourself. You're contributing in other ways, really, and we got to help him. That's our staff's got to help his confidence. I can't be negative when I got to make sure that he understands. Hey, you're playing well. Don't worry if you're not scoring right now. Do we like him to score? Of course, but I think his game's coming. I just don't want him to go this way, take the easy way out.
Speaking of DeSmith, obviously it's a big difference being number 2 and being number 1. What do you like about his makeup that he's going to be able to handle this number 1 role for the next 3-4 weeks?
Well, I think his makeup, especially in the room, is elite. Like, he's well-liked. The players, listen, I'll be honest, I've been in the league somehow 40 years or whatever. When you like the goalie, you tend to block more shots for a guy. I don't know why. I've had some goalies where you're not a big fan of the guy. I'm not saying I kind of veered out of the way, but when you really like a goalie, you really dive, and those guys really love Casey. So I think you'll see a lot of guys willing to block shots, like they do for Denver.
Lindholm, where do you see his game right now?
I like his game. Away from the puck, his hockey IQ. I know people want him to score and stuff. He'll score, but he's won some crucial draws. I don't know if people understand where, we're under the gun. It's 4 minutes left in LA, Vegas, where we've had some situations where our D retired and he went out there and won that draw. And to get it out, that's big. That's a possession. If they get the possession, who knows? So I think for me, the play without the puck has been really good.
They always say that your offense comes from your defensive play. So do you see this eventually coming for Les?
Yeah, I see it. I think I think Garza's. I thought he's played a couple of good games. I think Podsy's. He's playing with a rookie right now. He's playing with Podsy, and I think Podsy's done a nice job. So he's accepted his role, and he'll get more. But I'm not worried about him at all.
And I know you talked about Z when he came here, the transition. I mean, that's long gone. He's comfortable with the system and everything now.
I think he is. I think. I'm not. I really don't know exactly the system of Calgary. I know a little bit, but we play a little bit. I think we play fast. I'm not saying we play faster in Calgary. I'm not saying that, but we like to push the pace and stuff like that. He's a very responsible guy. So sometimes, I don't mind him taking off every once in a while, but I think he's a responsible guy, which we love around here.
With the schedule being as spread out as it is, can you see potentially Casey playing all the games over the next couple of weeks, or is there a plan to maybe get Archers in for at least one of those games right now?
Yeah, as of now, we're just going like game to game. Obviously, Casey, if something really bad happens to him, but he's definitely going to get the next 2 games. We'll go from there. But he's going to have some practice time. I think Casey deserves a chance to get the ball and take it, regardless of what happens tomorrow night. But which I think he'll be fine. So yeah, we'll see how it goes here.
Is there an upside that, assuming you get Denver back sooner than later, that now he's fresh and rested as well?
Yeah, you take the negative with a positive. If you think, and I thought of that, right? Because do I want him hurt? No. Do I want him in the net tomorrow? Of course, right? But whether he's out, how long he's out, he's going to definitely get a mental and be fresher for us. So let's use it as an advantage for us.
And with Myers, once your whole defensive group is all healthy, is it an opportunity for you to potentially, load manage some guys and give a couple of them off here and there between now?
Yeah. I know, guys don't want to hear it. It's going to be, you got to make sure that you make sure as coaches that you explain to certain guys that some guys might not like it if they're out, but we're at the point of the season where if we got healthy D, you're going to have some good defensemen that are going to sit out, and that's the job of the mentality of the coaches staff to make sure guys understand that. You're going to be a good team guy and all that stuff. But yeah, I've been there. We've all been there before. You don't want to. Everybody wants to play. We're lucky. We have we got a healthy lineup. Even like Friedman, I mean, he's not playing, but even the games he played, I thought he played well for us. So it's you got to stay ready.
Rick, can you tell us all the goalies you didn't like?
Yeah, I know. Yeah, yeah, exactly.
You can tell me later.
I didn't block shots at any goalie. So,
but you mentioned when guys like the goalie, they'll do maybe more things. Is it your experience that when you change a goalie and you talk about structure and staples every day, does that kind of focus or heighten everyone's focus about playing really well so that they're helping the goalie?
Well, I just believe, like, say you're up 2-0, right? And there's like 15 minutes left in the third period, and you got the puck. Do you want to be risky or not? You sometimes you think of, hey, Casey hasn't played a ton in the sense of a lot of games. We're trying to get his. He's going to play a bunch of games for us. Do I want to put him in some bad situations? If I turn the puck over, they get a 3-on-1. I think those guys are conscious of that. Hey, Casey's done a lot for us. He doesn't play a ton all the time. He's a great guy. I think that comes into play. And the guy dumps it in because he likes him.
All right. And,
I don't know if that makes sense. So if a guy dumps it in, doesn't dump it into more, there's 3-on-1, you're going to say he doesn't like the guy.
On one hand, it's a great time to miss your goalie for a couple of weeks because of the schedule. And you're at home. On the other hand, you do have playoffs next month. So are you entirely comfortable that whatever the time frame is of Thatcher, that he is going to be back and have time to be in top form for the playoffs?
Yeah, he's not going to play or go on the ice till we feel he's I don't think anybody's ever 100%, but to the standards that we have, he's not going to play until he's 100%. I think as close to 100% as possible. We're 100%.
Worst case scenario, is he still going to be back in time for the playoffs? For what?
Yes. Yes. Yeah, I'm not worried about that at all. At all.
Do you think Petey's feeling a load off since he signed his contract? Is he mentally?
Yeah, I have a conversation a couple weeks ago. He feels it in a good space, like headspace. I think when he's a really interesting guy, great guy to work with. But when he's mind free, he plays his best. And I think sometimes he gets clouded, when you struggle and stuff. And everybody's human. But I just like it. I think his practices have been so much better the last 3 weeks to me. Like the power play, I think he was terrific out there. So he just looks a lot fresher. And I think having those 2 days off for him too is going to make him just to the stretch drive feel a lot fresher.
And just going forward, I mean, you were able to use some rest as a weapon. I mean, how much is rest going to be a weapon for you guys in the next month or so?
Well, that's we talked to the science guy, the other coach's experience. I still think, we still have to be, I'm a team. We got good shape. You have to be in great shape to play. So I can't always give these guys day off. They got to work, and they do off ice stuff. So it's a balance, and then it's off the ice. What you're doing properly. Are you resting? Make sure that you are doing the right things, eating well. If you're in for the long haul, you got to do the right things. And I think that's why I felt the 2 days, because I think the guys do the right things. Some guys came and worked out. Some guys went on the ice, but and some guys needed it. Hughes, I think, needed 2 days. I didn't want to see him, and he's out there and has a great practice today. So hopefully that'll work out for him.
As we get closer to the end of the season, there's a lot of talk around specific awards, individual awards, and your name is consistently brought up for the Jack Adams. Does that come into mind at all at this point?
No, I'm not, honestly. Awards mean nothing to me right now. Just even for players, I know this guy points. If you play well, you'll get the gratification, whatever you want after the season. But to me, it's you start thinking that way. Anybody, I know I'm chasing goal scoring. I'm doing this. I'm trying to get career highs. That's when you play bad. So it's no different to me. I'm not chasing anything. I just got to continue to be the day-to-day coach and help, get help from my coaches.
You mentioned Quinn and
Yeah.
sort of taking those 2 days off.
Yeah.
Do you think this is a learning process for him? The level he's played at this season, from a leadership standpoint, to be able to try and stay at that throughout the year, and how he manages himself, his body, and his game?
Yeah, I think what he did this summer and throughout the year, the way his nutrition, he's done some different stuff nutrition-wise. He's gearing himself for a long haul, right? And it's no different in the games. They usually March, the guys have not played important games. Now they're playing important games. Now you have to manage yourself on the ice. He's got to be careful of shift lengths, when to go and when not to go. Those are the next level things for him, and he's learning all that stuff. You can't always go. Sometimes it's okay to be neutral on the ice, and I think when you play important games, you'll start to feel that. You know what I mean? That's why this week it's important that we've played tight games, 2-1, 3-1 games. I think it's really important that it's hit our team now, going the next month, that we have to be comfortable, and as an individual, PD, our core guys, they have to be comfortable playing 2-1 hockey games. Doesn't matter if they score. I don't care if they have to score in 2 games, but if we're winning those games, they have to understand it's okay. That's all, if that makes any sense.